Today I begin the question of the nature and scope of epistemology. What do we mean by knowledge and or is it just guesswork? In fact, in epistemology we study what is knowledge. What usually happens is that when we live a normal life, we perceive certain things and we make presumptions about it, we guess about it, and that appears to us in the form of knowledge. But that really isn't knowledge because whatever is perceivable changes according to circumstances, according to situations, and is merely relatively true. So, what happens is that sometimes it appears to be true and sometimes it is really true. And what happens also apart from this is that we often think that is reality something which is over and above this perception? Is there something which is beyond what our senses perceive? The term epistemology is derived from the two Greek words episteme and logy. Episteme means knowledge and logy means science. Therefore, epistemology means the science of knowledge. Now, there are three main questions which affect epistemology in general. The first question arises: what exactly is the source of knowledge? The second question arises: what exactly is the nature of knowledge? And the third question is: what can we called a valid knowledge? In fact, what is the criteria of valid knowledge? So, we find epistemology is deeply concerned with where does knowledge actually originate from? Is it from the outside world, or whether it is intuitively known, or it is some kind of introspection? That is the source of knowledge outside world or inside ourselves? What exactly is the nature of knowledge? Is knowledge what it appears to be, or is knowledge something which shows itself in the form of the appearance of the world? That is to say, that the world appears to us in some way, and in reality, it is of another kind of nature. It appears to us as something existent, and in reality, perhaps it is merely a manifestation of something else. So, we find that we are not sure even about the nature of knowledge. Thirdly, even if we know a little bit of what we call knowledge, how far can it be valid? Is there some reason or some criteria or some kind of standard on the basis of which we can describe what is known? And will it be called valid knowledge, or is there nothing called valid knowledge at all? What is the difference between valid knowledge and error? Now we come to another point in this matter, that is, what does philosophy say in regard to epistemology? Philosophy is a search of ultimate reality. And since it's a search of ultimate reality, it is constantly searching for actual truths. The ultimate reality has to be known through something which is valid. And unless and until we have valid knowledge, we will never know what is reality. Then we come to another question regarding what exactly is the nature and scope of epistemology, and that is, what are our everyday beliefs? We know only those things that appear to us in regular everyday existence. This is called common sense in philosophy. This again is based on three main characteristics. The first characteristics is the social condition in which a human being is born and brought up. The social conditions, the kind of way he lives, the kind of family he is born into, the surroundings, his environment, that is there in his mind. Then after that comes traditions and customs. Now, in this way, traditions and customs mostly form our nature. They enforce certain things in our minds, which become our habits, our beliefs, and our emotions. This is why the second point leads to the third point, and that characteristic is our habits, beliefs, and emotions. Social conditions are built up on traditions and customs. Traditions and customs ultimately lead to habits, beliefs, and emotions. So, this is what is known as the common sense or the general ideas according to which we live a normal everyday existence. Another point arises is that do we actually have some real proof on which we can say this common sense is really meaningful? Now, there are three criticisms which are leveled against common sense, and that is firstly, it is based on presumption. In other words, we presume that because XYZ appears to us in a particular way, therefore XYZ must be the same. Secondly, it is based on hearsay. Somebody told us something, or when a child is small, his mother tells him something, or his family tells him something, or he hears something in school, or he reads something in the newspapers. Therefore, hearsay also constitutes common sense. So, it cannot be considered to be the actual basis of valid knowledge. And the third is religious beliefs. Most people have very strong religious commitments, and they believe that whatever religion is saying or implies is absolutely true. Now, because of all this, common sense cannot be considered the basis of valid knowledge. Therefore, we'll have to search what exactly should be the criteria of valid knowledge. Today, I end my lecture here. I hope it is of some use to the students of epistemology, and in case you find it suitable, kindly like and subscribe. Thank you for today.